How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon X and kind of sort of Y. Last time we began our new adventure here in the Kalos region, and we picked our new starter Pokemon for the 7th or 8th time. I've lost count at this point. We picked the water-type Pokemon, Froakie. And really quickly, let's take a look at Froakie's summary. So, as you see, Froakie has a nature that benefits the defense stat and lowers the special attack stat. I believe that's Impish? It is Impish, okay. And of course, we met Froakie in Aquacord Town at level 5, and Froakie likes to relax. Of course, Froakie's also female, so that's pretty cool. And it has the Torrent ability, which powers up water-type moves in a pinch, usually it would say, but since they expanded characters in this game, by the way, I should mention that, you can now nickname Pokemon up to 12 character names. The limit used to be 10, I believe, or 9, but they updated that, and you can actually name yourself the player character with up to 12 characters as well in this game. Really, really cool that they expanded everything. I believe the limit used to be 8, so that's a really big jump. Anyway, really quickly, I'm going to shift the moves around. I'm going to put Bubble in front because that is a same type attack bonus move, and it will be pretty much good for us all the time. So, now that we're done with that, I am going to head back home because we do need to tell our mom that we're leaving before we can actually go on our adventure. Oh, so, what did you and the neighbor kids end up doing? Wait 1 second, is that a Pokeball you have there? You got your very own Pokemon. Lucky you. How about that? You're a Pokemon trainer now too. Congratulations! Huh? A letter from me? It says it's from somebody named Sycamore. What could it be? A love letter? Mom, come on. No, not in front of me. Wow, what lovely handwriting. What do we have here? A request. Oh, I see. James, we're barely unpacked and all kinds of exciting things are happening. Okay, let's get you and Froakie ready for your journey. Here you are. I even packed a change of clothes. My, what an unexpected turn of events. It's just like a sudden last burst of speed from a racer in a Rhyhorn race. You made friends, you met your Pokemon, and now you get to take a lap around Kalos. Oh, and don't forget this. We've received a town map, because of course, we can't go through the game without a town map, right? You know how to use a town map, right? Even if I say yes, you're gonna tell me anyway, so I might as well just say no. Press the X button to open the map, to open the bag, which I already opened at the beginning to summarize Froakie. Next, use the okay, Mom, okay, yeah, well, I didn't, actually, okay, anyway. But taking a journey with your Pokemon is a really wonderful experience. Thanks, Mom. Alright, so now we can head on our way, but before that... Aw, Rhyhorn wants to say goodbye! What a card! I guess Rhyhorn just wanted to give you a big send-off on your journey. Well, it has known you since you were born, after all. Good luck! Go for broke, and don't worry. You'll have Pokemon by your side, so you'll be fine. Something that's really, really interesting is that canonically, my Y version playthrough that I'm playing as the female is kind of the canonical version, because in the Pokemon anime, your mother in the game is also Serena's mom in the anime, so technically playing as the female is canon, so that's just something I wanted to mention. Anyway, now that we're done with that, we can actually head out of Vanilleville Town and we can head back to Aquacord. through Route 1, the greatest route in the history of the Pokemon series, and we can finally head down this staircase here into the main part of town. And wouldn't you know it, the potion guy that gives you a free potion in every game is right here, not even, I mean, Route 1 was short, so you couldn't really have him on Route 1. It would have been funny, though, if he was on Route 1. Speaking of potions, actually, it's not stated in the beginning area of the game, but I believe as you deliver the letter to your mom after you get your starter Pokemon, you receive a potion from her. And also, we have the running shoes. If it wasn't obvious, you get those immediately in the game. Anyway, let's go into this shop right here, because inside is a shop for potions, so you can buy even more potions. And if you didn't know your mom gave you an extra potion, then you can see now, because we have 2 in our bag. And if you didn't get the free potion from the Mart assistant, then yeah, there you go. But you can buy more potions here if you so desire. I'm going to pick up 8. I'm gonna round that up to 10 just so I can have them. And we could speak to people in this town, but they just give you basic advice. So if you are a newer Pokemon player, I do recommend you do talk to everybody in town, because talking to people is mostly important. But this is mostly if you're really new to the series, because the NPCs do usually give you advice, and also this is basically a Pokemon Center before the Pokemon Center, but we'll get to the actual Pokemon Center in a little bit. However, if we do head over this way, we can head into this shop here, and you might have seen there was a sign, a green sign, hanging above. Welcome, this is a specialized shop that only sells Pokeballs, or sells only Pokeballs. So if I really wanted to, I could buy a couple Pokeballs and I can begin my Nuzlocke adventure. No, I'm not doing a Nuzlocke. I think I've made that joke in like the last 3 Pokemon Let's Plays. Also, speaking of which, this is technically the first time that you'll be seeing both of the games in my Pokemon Let's Plays. Yeah, it took, I mean, more so both games a lot, because I technically showed off Omega Ruby once, and actually, that was pretty much it. When I played Alpha Sapphire, I showed off a little bit of Omega Ruby. And I only did one of the other games, and Platinum was the only sequel Let's Play I've done, so. Anyway, this hiker is trying to give advice, and I just skipped completely over it because I was talking about past series. Anyway, right here are some cool camera angles that you can see. And this just goes to show how advanced the Pokemon series became in terms of graphical technology, because we have not only 3D sprites, even though these models are like chibi, but still they're 3D, it's better than sprites. Anyway, now we are en route to the Advanced Trail, and as you see, not only do the routes have their numbers, like usual, but they also have some names, which is nice. And this is a wild Pidgey. Now, this encounter is always going to happen no matter which blades of grass you run into. You will always encounter a static Pidgey, and no, it cannot be shiny, as far as I know. And it's not like it matters, because maybe you don't even have Pokeballs. Maybe you bought some at the shop like I did, so right now I could catch this Pidgey if I wanted, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to use only Pokemon native to Kalos on my team. Usually in my Pokemon Let's Plays, I tend to only use Pokemon that are native to the region. I believe I've made an exception once. Crobat technically was an exception, because I caught a Zubat and then evolved it into Golbat, and then it evolved into Crobat, but I think, yeah, was that the only exception, technically speaking, because I caught it as a Zubat? I don't know. Anyway, if you're also familiar with Pokemon, then you know that there is a certain tutorial coming up. Oh, hi Jimmy! Come on, learn how to catch Pokemon with me! Serena's mom and dad are amazing trainers! That's why she knows so much about catching Pokemon and battling! Well, mom and dad may be good, but that has nothing to do with me. Okay, now watch carefully, you two! A wild Bunnelby has appeared, and yes, this is the catching tutorial. Serena is going to send out her Fletchling. By the way, if you are playing as Serena, you will have the male character instead, of course, be doing all this type of stuff, be your rival, friend, whatever you want to call it. And his default name is Calum. Yeah, at least it's better than Hilbert. Alright, so... but I'm playing as Calum in this game, obviously, and I'm playing as Serena in Y, and I actually stuck with her default name in Y version, so when you do see that, if I show battling, which there will be one instance where I show battles, or a battle in particular, then you will see that I named her Serena. Anyway, the catching tutorial's over. I talked through all of it, so I hope you were paying attention with your eyeballs, because I wasn't really explaining it. Wow, the Pokemon went inside the Pokeball? Shauna, what do you think your Fennekin is inside of right now? Here, I'll share some Pokeballs with the two of you. And if you didn't buy Pokeballs in Aquacord Town, then you get Pokeballs right here from your rival, friend, whatever. Pokeballs, do you think I can catch Pokemon with them too? Sure. You can catch the Pokemon around here just by throwing a Pokeball near them. Okay, if I find a cute Pokemon, I'll throw lots of Pokeballs at it, and then we'll become friends. When you catch a wild Pokemon, it makes your Pokemon stronger too. Good luck! Alright, so there's not really much to Route 2 other than this tutorial and these patches of grass. So let's just go ahead and run into the grass and encounter a couple Pokemon. For example, Weedle. Now, in Pokemon X and Y, Weedle and Caterpie, because Caterpie is also in the game, I mean, there are a lot of Kanto Pokemon, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, but Caterpie and Weedle have different percentages depending on which game you're playing, and of course I would get poisoned on a Poison Sting. So in... Actually, is it in X version that Weedle's more common? I would assume so, since I just ran into it right here. But this is only on Route 2. In an upcoming area, Weedle and Caterpie are very more prominent, and I believe they have equal percentages in that area. But in Route 2, it's a little bit different. Alright, so I'm going to keep running around. Also, you can see Froakie does not take poison damage. Thankfully, they don't have that in this game, outside of battle. Here, though, is a brand new bug Pokemon that is native to the Kalos region. And yes, it is pronounced Kalos, like you're saying caw-caw, caw-caw, like a bird. A lot of people say Kalos, just plain old, like, caw. Well, not plain old caw, because Kalos is the way you say it, but plain old cow, like cow. It's Kalos. Enunciate. Anyway, this is Scatterbug. Scatterbug is the native bug to this region. There is one bug in every single region. There are some exceptions. Some regions have two bugs, like Gen 5. Unova. Unova has Sawaddle, and it has Venipede. But Kalos only has Little Scatterbug, because the Kalos Pokedex is very small in number. In fact, the Kalos Pokedex is the lowest Pokedex number of all of the Pokemon games in terms of new Pokemon. However, if you take into account all of the previous Pokemon in this game, like another Weedle here, then there's like 300 Pokemon. Anyway, I'm going to quickly run away from this Weedle. I'm gonna head back to Aquacord Town, and I'm gonna heal up. In case it wasn't obvious, I'm looking for a new team member already, and I will see you when I find it because it might take a while. Well, you weren't the Pokemon I was looking for to add to my team, but you know what? You're here right now, and I was planning on using you anyway, so say hello to Fletchling. We have a Fletchling in our home. That's our mother's pet, basically, or the family pet. I don't really know. But I plan on using a Fletchling in this series, so let's go ahead and toss one of our 15 Pokeballs. And thankfully, something pretty cool about this route, at least in this game and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, maybe also in the Sun and Moon Generation 7 games, but the first route, the technical first route of the game where you can catch Pokemon, Route 2 here, has 100% catch rate, so no matter what, you will catch the Pokemon. Really, really cool. But anyway, Fletchling's data has been added to the Pokedex. Fletchling, the tiny robin Pokemon. These friendly Pokemon send signals to one another with beautiful chirps and tail feather movements. I almost said tall feather movements. No nickname for Fletchling. We are just going to move on to finding another team member. Yes, we're not even deep into the game, and we're gonna have half of our team immediately. However, it might take a little while to find our team member. So, once again, I will see you in a moment, but maybe I'll use the opportunity to train Fletchling up a bit. Oh my god, finally. I've been sitting here since I caught Fletchling for the last, 10 minutes? Trying to find one bunny rabbit. I would have probably screamed my head off if it died. Say hello to Bunnelby. You might see that this is familiar because Serena used her Fletchling to catch a Bunnelby for the catching tutorial. I didn't want to spoil things and let things on, but we will be using a Bunnelby in addition to a Fletchling on this team. Sorry to break the whole Ash Ketchum themed thing from the X and Y anime with my team. Although technically, if we're keeping it in the X and Y family, because Clement did have a Bunnelby, so yeah, we're keeping it in the family. Anyway, Bunnelby, the digging Pokemon. They use their large ears to dig burrows. They will dig the whole night through. Alright, and that is Bunnelby. No nickname for Bunnelby. And now to train up Bunnelby. But first I need to heal. Go figure that when I finally find a Bunnelby, they make the rabbit myth true and now they're just gonna spawn over and over again. Alright, we're back. And you might see here that there is a trainer that's just been patiently waiting while I was on my Bunnelby crusade. And really quickly, I want to mention that I've actually caught 2 Bunnelbys, but that will not become important until later. However, I was going to compare the two and keep the one on my team that has the better nature. Usually I'm not one to do that, but I mean, it's really bad because this one is a sassy nature, and this one is a modest nature. Bunnelby is an attacker, and like, it sucks, because either I take the speedy version with lowered attack, or I take the one that has good attack but not really good speed. I think I'm gonna keep this one, the male one, because it's, I mean, I might as well, the attack will be more beneficial than speed, and plus there's a way I can increase its speed later on that we'll get to, so I'm gonna keep the male, and I'm actually going to switch you in front so we can actually do a little bit more training. I actually never did any training with you, but really quickly, I also do want to mention that my Fletchling is also of the sassy nature, so hooray, I have a couple of sassy Pokemon. Anyway, let's go ahead and exit the menu so we can finally take on this youngster right here that's been patiently waiting to say that when 2 trainers' eyes meet, a Pokemon battle must begin. We've been challenged by youngster Austin, who is going to use a Zigzagoon, but it's no normal Zigzagoon. Actually, it is a normal Zigzagoon because it's not shiny or anything. The only real difference with the Zigzagoon is that it's level 5. But, Bunnelby, you are not staying out to fight because that would be pretty negligent of me as a trainer to leave a practical baby out against a level 5. So we're gonna switch Froakie back in, and we are going to take out this Zigzagoon with bubbles. Lots and lots of bubbles. Now, I do want to mention that, typical to my Pokemon Let's Plays, I will not be showing a lot of trainer battles. Really, the trainer battles I will show will be confined to episodes where we take on the gyms. So this is basically like a one-time deal, just so you get a feel of what trainer battles are like, and then you'll never see them again outside of gyms. So, yay! Anyway, Bunnelby grew to level 3 off of that battle, and of course, we've defeated the youngster. And I really, really like it about this game, even though it's the character artwork, unlike in Sun and Moon where it's actual models, you still get the battle background and the trainer artwork, instead of like, the sprite. I mean, it's kind of equal to the sprites. I mean, to be fair, these games are kind of like, these X and Y were kind of like test games to see how the 3DS could be pushed, and then Sun and Moon happened. But I mean, these games are still good in their own right. Kind of. I do have some qualms about them that I'll talk about throughout this series. Anyway, enough of the battle with the youngster. We should probably get on with the end of this episode. And speaking of which, that is gonna be right now. Next time on Pokemon X and Sort of Y, we will enter this new area here, known as the Santaloon Forest. But before that, I will do a bit of training with Bunnelby. So with that, thank you for watching, and until next time, catch ya later.